Hello, everyone. This is Stephen Richardson, and today I'll be talking about a criminal law question from the June 2013 California First Year Law Students Exam, FYLSE. And it's a criminal law question. The first question was a criminal law question. So let's jump in. And this is not legal advice, this is educational purposes. So this is the language that was on the test. It explains your answer should demonstrate. Of course, it should be lawyerly in order to get a passing grade. 70% is the passing grade. Okay, and if you all of this, all these checklists and rule statements are from my website, lawschool-essentials.com, mnemonic memory guides and black letter law. If you walk in and you don't have these memorized, you're just going to panic and not do so well. So I create mnemonic memory guides so that you read it, write it, and repeat it over and over and over until it's memorized. You've got to be able to regurgitate this on the spot because the clock is ticking. Okay, so here's the fact pattern. First thing you do is you read the call of the question. With what crimes? Okay, so this is criminal law. If any, can Angela reasonably charge? And what defenses, if any? So we've got a crime and defenses for Angela. With what crimes, if any, can Bart reasonably charge and what defenses? So, crime by Bart and his defenses. With what crimes, if any, can Chris reasonably charged and what defenses? So, Chris committing a crime and defenses. So these three questions. So if you don't have it memorized, you're going to hyperventilate and you're probably going to miss something, right? So it's got to be memorized. So now you read the fact pattern, you start thinking about the facts that are going on here. Angela and Bart are animal rights activists. Angela lived near a horse ranch owned by Chris. She told Bart that she suspected the horses were being abused because she saw people going in and out of the barn at all hours of the day and night and suggested that they go there to investigate. Well, busybody. Unable to open the ranch gate, Angela and Bart climb the fence across the yard. So you got to be thinking trespass. And we'll see if there's a crime committed. So it'll be criminal trespass. Opened the door of the barn and stepped inside. Okay. There they found healthy horses, but also a large amount of stolen electronic equipment. Okay. So stolen equipment, it's either receipt of stolen goods or actually larceny. Not sure. We're going to have to read on to see if there was intent. Surprised to see intruders, Chris, who was carrying a rifle, pointed it at Angela and Bart and accidentally caused it to discharge. So the first thing you realize here, you can't aim a weapon at two people. The weapon has to be aimed at one. Did he aim it at Angela or did he aim it at Bart? This happened when I was hunting. Some kids said that I pointed a weapon at them. Well, who did I point at? You or the other one? I was hunting in Alaska. Anyways, accidentally caused it to discharge. Okay, it was an accident, but the weapon went off. So nobody was killed. Hit the side of the bar near Angela and Bart. So nobody was killed. So this is intent. This would be intent to kill. Um, the noise startled the horses. Angela and Bart fled, letting out the horses. So she let the horses out. A motorist who was driving down the road swerved to miss the stampeding horses, crashed into a tree, and died. Okay, so you don't have murder for the motorist. It's going to be like criminal negligence, homicide, something like that. So that's what you're thinking. Angela and Bart criminally trespassed, let out the horses. Larceny needs intent. We didn't see it. Stampeding caused death of motorist, right? Criminal negligence. Defense's necessity to stampede the horses to defend from more shots being fired. That you could reasonably say that. That would be both Angela and Bart. Chris, attempted murder of Angela slash Bart and receipt of stolen property. Vicariously liable for death of motorist? I don't think so. Necessity to protect horses, stolen goods, and protect the stolen goods, and warning shot to scare off the trespassers. Okay, all this should have taken you 5 minutes to read this and start boom, 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 coming up with ideas for your outline. Okay, so we're going to jump into. Right now, you got three questions, so give yourself 15 minutes for each one. State v. Angela. Here's your outline, and all these are snips from my guides at lawschool-essentials.com. So first, you have a property crime, theft crime of the horses. Did the defendant trespassorily take the victim's personal property? Well, they trespass. criminal. Did they intend to take the horses? I don't know. If they thought they were being hurt, maybe they're going to lead the horses out. Maybe this was horse thieving. We don't know. You have to find out. Did Was the property of another? Yes, it was Chris's horses, right? So you got to think of all these things. Are there any applicable defenses? Well, um, Angela and Bart could say that to save their lives from Chris shooting at them by causing the stampede. That causing the stampede will allow them to get away, scare Chris, and defense of self and others. Okay. Um, so it was necessary, right? So death of the motorist. Okay, here's another that you have to explore. Did they murder the motorist? No, it was the stampeding horses, which they were at fault for letting them flee. The horses, presumably for their defense. Um, it was if it's criminal negligence, then it's involuntary manslaughter. So you're looking at involuntary manslaughter. The rule statement I've snipped and put here under criminal law, involuntary manslaughter is an unintended homicide. They didn't intend to kill a motorist. The killing of one human being, motorist, he wasn't an alien, he was a human being, by another. Chris and Bart are humans without malice aforethought as a uh, result of criminal negligence or during the commission of malum in se. Malum in se is um, got to remember that malum in se. Wrong in itself. It's Latin for wrong in itself. Okay. No misdemeanor committed by trying to protect self and others from death. That's what Angela and Bart could say. All right, let's go on to the next one. So this is what your answer is going to look like. You have 10 minutes to write it. The issue was their larceny of the horses under common law, da da da. Got to have this memorized so you can regurgitate it. And then you just start analysis. You start picking out the elements. Trespass by Angela and Bart, or by, in this case, Angela. Loosing the horses is the carrying away, like in the old Westerns, horse thieving, right? The horses were on a horse ranch owned by Chris. Make your conclusion, and then well, do the defenses first. Necessity of loosing of horses as a defense of others and defense of self, then make the conclusion. Okay, involuntary manslaughter of the motorist. Under criminal law, involuntary manslaughter is unintended homicide. We already know that. Malum in se, wrong in itself. Analysis, quickly dismiss murder because there's no intent to kill, right? The horses caused the motorist to crash. Morris was a human, killed by negligent actions of another human being, Angela and Bart, in this case, Angela, presumably during commission of horse thieving. Defenses, Angela was trying to save herself and Bart, so no, wrong in itself. And then make your conclusion. Bart is the exact same thing. I would do the exact same thing because they were both together. But you can't say Angela, state v. Angela and Bart. If you've got a computer, if you're writing this, man, you're in trouble. If you got a computer, you can cut and paste. But if you have the option of writing it, I wouldn't recommend that. Okay, and then Bart's the same answer. You just change the change the names from Bart and Angela, right? We've already looked at this. So now you've gone 5, 10, 20, 25, 35 minutes. You're 35 minutes in, okay? So now State v. Chris, 5 minutes. That's 40 minutes in. So you got attempted murder of Angela and Bart, and you got the stolen electronics. Dismiss. Okay, let's go to attempted murder. So here's the intent, the specific intent, um, zone of preparation, impossibility, anything merge. The crime is homicide, the unlawful killing of a human being by another. Substantial step was discharging the weapon. Even though he says it's accidental, still he's responsible for that bullet when it leaves the rifle until it stops, right? If malice exists, the murder, unless there's justification to prevent the horses from being stolen. It appears Chris has no liability for death of motorists. I would state that also. Um, Stolen electronics. So dismissed larceny. Facts do not support it. We don't know if he stole it, right? But he's in receipt of stolen property because it's stolen electronics, right? So you have to um, start thinking about this: the stolen property. Did he know? Was there intent to steal? Are there any applicable defenses? Did the defendant make a mistake? Well, I didn't know. They were stolen. It's a five-finger disc. I don't know. I bought it from my buddy, right? Got it from my buddy. So that's what he'd say. Um, but a good police work would find that out quickly. Okay, 10 more minutes so that you're at 50 minutes now to do this. The issue, attempted murder. Um, here's the rule for attempt, right? And then do the rule for murder, right? And then you start analyzing. Discharging the weapon at Angela and Bart is a substantial step, but missing is the attempt. Intending to kill Angela and Bart, human beings, malice can be implied through a deadly weapon doctrine or implied through recklessness. Discharging a weapon towards two people is reckless if it didn't kill them, right? Then your defense is it's impossible to aim a weapon at two people. Seriously, just think about it. You can't aim a weapon at two people. You got to aim it at one or the other. Who did Chris intend to kill? Justification for preventing the horse from being stolen. Make your conclusion, right or wrong. Okay, issue receipt of stolen property. Um, da da da. Criminal law, receiving stolen property, taking possession or control. Quickly dismiss, on your analysis, quickly dismiss larceny. Facts do not stipulate larceny. Possession and control found because of possession in Chris's barn on his ranch. Facts stipulate electronics were stolen, so we know they're stolen. Need to prove Chris knew they were stolen. That's the hinge right there. That's the focal point. If you can't prove that, then that this falls apart. So defenses, he's going to say mistake of fact. Specific intent needs to be proven. General intent is a reasonable mistake of not knowing the 5-finger discount. Okay, so you have 50 minutes. You've got maybe 10 minutes to go back and tweak and add and just improve it. Right. So you can do this if you memorize the checklists and the black letter law. Read it, repeat it, and write it. Lawschool-essentials.com. Run, don't walk over there to get these materials. Thanks, and I'll see you on the next one.